Namaste, Jai Hind. Welcome to another edition of the ANI podcast with Smita Prakash. Thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel and for sharing these conversations with people who you think will benefit from listening into these. Today, my guests are Shehzad Poonawala and Aditi Singh. Both were in the Congress party but left the Grand Old Party to join the BJP. I spoke with the two of them to understand why is it that they did not feel that they had a political future in a party which was then led by a youth leader, Rahul Gandhi, and they preferred to move to the BJP where the leadership is considered rigid and stodgy. Shehzad you see on TV debates almost every day. Aditi is the MLA from Rai Bareli, which was Sonia Gandhi's Lok Sabha constituency. Thank you, Shehzad. Thank you, Aditi, for being part of the podcast. It's so nice to have Yuva Netas, actual Yuva Netas, in the podcast. So may I call you by your first names? Please do. Thank you.
Absolutely, and thank you for having us, Smita. And we've been consuming your podcast on a daily basis, and thank you for having us. We feel very privileged.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. For the benefit of our viewers who might think that अरे शहजाद है तो इस तरफ कोई कांग्रेस समर्थक क्यों नहीं है, just to let them know that this is not a TV debate, so this is just going to be genial conversation. And basically I want to know I want to know your reasons why as young leaders you wanted to leave a party which was led at that time by somebody who was considered a youth leader, a Yuva Neta. So both of you have your individual reasons for doing that, and you especially, Aditi, because you fought an election. You fought and you were considered close to the Gandhi family. So you have your reason, Shehzad, you have your reason. But I'll begin with Shehzad because Shehzad left first. So Shehzad, most people do know about, those who know you know the reasons why it happened. But there are also people who live abroad, some of our young viewers and listeners who've just joined into listening or watching Indian politics. To them, could you explain that what were the circumstances when it happened, and how difficult was it to leave the Congress party?
Uh, See, first of all, understand where I was coming from. In my family, nobody was in politics. Dur dur tak. My community also very less involvement in politics as such. We are a business community, most of the people. And therefore, for a person like me, when I was in school, 15, 16, I was very influenced by what I read in textbooks about the contribution of Congress party towards the freedom struggle, etc. And I was very influenced by that. And I used to come to Delhi every 6 months. I would save my pocket money, and then I would take one room in Arjun Nagar, which is a slightly cheaper area to live in. I would take the 610 Blue Line bus, and from there it used to be a 10 rupee ticket. I used to go to the Janpat Road station, stop, and from there I used to walk to Chaubis Akbar Road. And you know who used to drop me back? Tom Vadakkar. So every state president was either the son or daughter of some politician or some neta. And the entire system had become more oriented towards having papas or mummies, friends, sons, and daughters.
So was he not in control of who's going to
No, he was
occupy those
absolutely in
positions?
control. He was absolutely in control, and this is the problem. I feel after my various interactions with Rahul and people around him that he prefers to have people who have been friends with his father or who have been friends with his family in positions around him and in positions of power. He's for the lack of a better word, he's very entitled in his thinking and he's very elitist. I'll give you an example. I was, I think, second or third who left after Hemanta ji. The manner in which he treated Hemanta, because Hemanta ji does not have, like me, he did not have a family background in politics. Hemanta ji is a self-made man, as opposed to a Gaurav Gogoi, whom Rahul will have a different respect for because Tarun ji and Rajiv ji or Tarun ji and Sonia ji are close. So he has a different orientation. Even if you see people around him, they are sons and daughters of somebody whom he relies on. And therefore, I think he has actually got a sense of entitlement and a sense of arrogance that I come from a particular lineage, pedigree. These people also have a similar pedigree to me. You people are not in the same pedigree. So I can bestow something upon you, but he doesn't really mean it. And therefore, after spending a lot of time, 2017, cutting short the story, in 2017, my only request was when they were trying to coronate him, and I use this word very consciously, they were going to coronate him as the president. I told the party confidentially within the party platform that look, there should be an election It should be a free and fair election. It should be an election as mandated by the Congress constitution, which means that the delegates also have to be elected. It can't just be that, the delegates are selected by Sonia ji's people and then obviously they will elect Rahul Gandhi. So it has to be a transparent election, which didn't happen even in Kharge ji's case. Shashi Tharoor ji says that there were a lot of things left to be desired. So instead of having an election, they had a coronation. And that's when I said that, look, this party is unwilling to put in place principles it advocates elsewhere. It says Loktantra in the entire country, but अपने आप को लोकतंत्र मुक्त करके रखा है. मतलब दिस इज द आयरनी कि दे वांट लोकतंत्र इन द कंट्री. जैसे मोदी जी लोकतंत्र को बर्बाद कर रहे हैं, पर अपनी पार्टी में लोकतंत्र नहीं चाहिए. लेट मी जस्ट गिव वन एग्जांपल. फ्रॉम 1978 to 2022, that is 44 years, one family has been at the helm of affairs of Congress, Sonia ji, Rahul ji, Indira ji, Rajiv ji, for 38 years, 38, 39 years, except for 2-3 years of Narasimha Rao ji and 2-3 years of Sitaram Kesi, and we all know what they did to Sitaram Kesi. In the same 38-40 year period of 1982, 2022, 23, you have the BJP, which has had Vajpayee ji, Advani ji, Gadkari ji, Rajnath ji, Janak Krishnamurti ji, Bangaru Lakshman ji, Nadda ji, Amit Shah ji. These are at least 10 presidents. And therefore, the Congress party.
But when you got into the Congress,
Right.
this was already something that everybody knew and you also knew.
Of course I knew.
Right? So it wasn't as if these are two options open and
Well, I was gullible to believe Rahul Gandhi. I was gullible that we gave him 5-7 years to put in place things that he promised, but he did not deliver, and he doesn't deliver. And apart from that, apart from not delivering,
who brought you into the Congress? I'm asking
On
you
my
this
own.
because
I'll tell you how I entered politics. I used to read about contributions of one family because the textbooks were also written in such a way that only one family was highlighted as the Karta Dharta of the entire Azadi Ka Andolan.
yeah.
So you feel that this one family and the Congress party as an instrument has done everything for Azadi. Now, having read that, you feel inspired, and then I started doing student activism in college, in university.
Which is where?
Which is in Pune. I studied, brought up in Pune all my life. And when I finished my graduation in Pune, I had started joining the NSUI activities. I had also been, doing work for the NSUI. I thought that I should contribute more. So that's where I used to save up my pocket money, come to Delhi, work in the media department, and people appreciated my work. At that time, Digvijay Singh ji, Tom Vadakkan ji, and others who were in the Congress party, they appreciated my work. They even thought that I should be the spokesperson of the party. Let me tell you this also. The Congress party in 2012-13 had a special trial for who should be spokespersons. And I was the best there as well. Some reports had also been published that there was an entire meritocratic system that was put in place to decide that on which aspects of spokesperson should be selected. Content, knowledge, body language, tone, tonality, how to speak, present. Despite me doing the best on that, Mr. Surjewala, lo and behold, his father was obviously, in the Congress, and Ajay Makan, they were selected, and my name was chopped off. So that's the level to which anybody who has merit, who has performance, but not parivar, is sidelined within the Congress. And therefore,
was that
after
the last straw?
That was not the last straw. The last straw for me was in 2017, when after several attempts to try and get the Congress to course correct, I had also told Congress leaders that if we want to, I was in the Congress then, so I was saying if we want to at least get 100 seats against Prime Minister Modi, because Modi ji was declared as the candidate, we must get rid of two people completely, Rahul and Robert. And I think that was the last straw from their side, that ab ye nahi sahan ho paega. So this is the thing that culminated in me leaving the Congress, because ultimately the Congress was unwilling to change its system to a more democratic system, to a more performance-oriented meritocratic system, and it was unwilling to define what its ideological positions should be on issues. I am a proud Muslim, but I don't think that we should be talking about eliminating Hinduism. We should not be talking about Ram ji ka astitva hai ya nahi hai. And therefore I used to tell them that on these issues, let's have a strong position where we can't be questioned as as being appeasers of a particular vote bank. They were unwilling to do that as well. And in the subsequent years, they have tried to course correct, but they have not done it genuinely. And therefore, the Congress party continues to be in the mess that it is.
Okay. So I'll let me come back to you after I speak with
Sure.
Aditi, because many of the points that you say, Aditi, you were a second representative. Your father was in the Congress party. You were considered close to the Congress.